Hello, YouTube. Shot's obviously a bit crowded because I'm not the star. So, Mezcal. Mezcal has gotten really huge in the last couple of years, and rightly so, right? I mean, it's a lot of it is really well made. A lot of it is sort of bottled with some integrity. It's made, you know, without too much fuss, and often bottled at higher proofs. But the fact that it's a little bit overbought right now might make you want to wonder about that thing we all sort of gave up on in our chase after mezcal, which is tequila. We gave up on tequila because um, most of it is sold based on brand rather than quality. Most of it is overproduced. Um, Most of it's sold at 40% alcohol. I'm sort of watered down to that point. Some of it's worse, and the rest of the world is actually bottled at a weaker strength. Um, but it doesn't have to be that way, right? I mean, and recently we've had a bunch of tequilas come out bottled at higher strengths and presented in more of a quality style. So what I did basically was sort of chase them down over the last year or so, all the ones I could get a handle on in the Chicago area, with the idea of doing like a tasting of them, which is now never going to happen because of COVID-19. But I got curious, so I dipped into them. Anyway, so what I'm going to do in this video is compare all of them, and at the end we will sort of declare some winners and losers. Hint: they're all actually really good. Um, so first thing I will say is I was trying to find a logical order to these that would put the Casa Noble last, because this is the only one that's seen wood. And the only sort of logical order I could come up with that would do that was to arrange them by region. So we're going to start with the Los Altos tequila, the only one here. We're going to move to the Valles, the valley distilleries, but then nevertheless sort of distill agave from the mountains. And then we're going to move to the purely valley tequilas at the end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through them, first drinking neat, which is going to blow me out a little bit. I'm going to add water to them, go back over them again, sort of settle down to drinking strength, giving them a rating, and then we'll put them back in order and talk about this a little bit. So I'm going to put details for each of these individual bottles, including lot numbers and nerdy stuff like that, down below, just to save time. But okay, let's get into this. Okay, first off, I tried to find some way of not making this go first because it's from one of my favorite distilleries. This is Tapatio, 110 Blanco. This is from the La Alteña distillery, which is way up in the mountains. They also make El Tesoro, which is fantastic. This is bottled with the legal max of 55% alcohol. And let us see what we got. Yeah. Incredibly floral and so this is interesting. It's light on its feet, but it feels very big at the same time. Floral, vegetal, uh, mixed bell peppers, asparagus, but also just lots of flowers in this. Kind of rockiness, a minerality, a dustiness, like old books, and also like a certain really nice. This is going to sound crazy, but if at Halloween, the little pumpkin candies, this smells like a little bit like those as well. You'll see me referring to my notes at the side here because there's way too much information for me to remember. Yeah. Okay, let's give it a whirl on the palate. Mm-mm. Big boy. Ooh. beautiful though. Um, Again, the pumpkin candy thing, which I'm really enjoying. Um, Bell peppers again, especially green bell peppers. A little lime, different kinds of different elements of lime, especially the pulp. Um, little cinnamon, like little horchata in there. Some celery, but not like almost like if you could make an essence of celery, it would be that. Some mintiness, like a spearmint, and more of that floral aspect to it. It again, it has this presence to it. It really is. Hang on, one more time, just to check. Oh, fills the whole mouth, but at the same time feels very light, very fingertippy. It's like a if you could somehow combine um, like an 18 wheeler with a Porsche Boxster, that would be something like what this tastes like. Um, yeah, this is good. This is good stuff. Moving on, the Don Fulano here has the death seat after that. Um, Don Fulano. This one is the Blanco Fuerte, I think they're calling it, although it doesn't say that anywhere on the bottle. It's bottled at La Tequileña, um, which is probably the most atypical distillery here because they're well, first of all, they're not making they're not cooking the agave in the traditional stone ovens. They're using basically a big pressure cooker, which is more common in some of the industrial distilleries. And they're using a column still. It's not a lot of the production. I think it's only maybe 15-20%, but some of this is column distilled. It's a slightly lower strength than the Tapatio. Um, I think again this is a valley distillery, but they're using mountain agave. Oh, okay. So this is really obvious. So lime, lots of lime, and like Christmas spices, like cinnamon, clove, nutmeg, a little cardamom in there. Yeah, this is a very beautiful nose. It's just gorgeous. Yeah, again, it smells big, but it's also like just light and lovely and very seductive. Actually, let me give this a try. Oh, yeah, that's the sort of herbaceous quality to this, but dominated by lime and sort of cinnamon again. Um, very creamy, like almost like if you could take lime and cinnamon and some like herbs and put them in whipped cream and just like squirt that thing into your mouth. That's kind of what this is, what what this thing is doing. Um, a little vanilla, but it's not from barrel because this has never touched it. This is just from the agave. Um, uh, Celery again, and a kind of um, like a green tea, no, like matcha powder. Actually, is a good note for this. This is beautiful. This is just silky. But I mean, we use the word smooth as an indicator of like it doesn't hurt going down. Often in America, like we need to reclaim smooth. Like this is this is smooth. This is not, but it's at the same time not neutral. This is Billy D. Williams in a bottle. Um, yeah, it's beautiful actually. The Tapatio, you could drink its strength and survive. This one, I think you actually I would be tempted to drink this at strength rather than adding water. Yeah, it's just it. These okay. So things are starting off well. Moving on. to the second valley distillery using mountain agave. This is the Chamucos, which is a brand that was started by, I believe, a filmmaker and a bottle maker teaming up with an American funding guy, which doesn't sound that promising. This has skipped distilleries a couple of times, but on the other hand, look at this bottle. This is kind of great. It just screams Jalisco. Um, whereas this one is maybe a little um, baroque, and this one is just kind of basic, but charmingly so. I like this. I like this packaging. It's got a little devil guy on it. Um, so Chamucos Diablo Blanco. Okay, completely different. Um, oof, funky funk. Let me check my notes. It's very funky. Barnyard, kind of some like rotting mushrooms, um, like vegetal. It's a little bell pepper again, but it's like composting bell pepper. Like that. There's that. Oh, what is the name of it? There's a thing that you can get on like tortas and stuff, which is like crushed cooked cactuses mixed with like pork belly. There's a little bit of that, and just mud and like dirt and tar, maybe like an olive in there somewhere. Smells like funky. Your grandma would not like this. Um, on the palate, yeah. Ooh. Again, we're at 55% alcohol. Um, Barnyardy, but sweeter than you would think. There's a sort of fermenting vegetable note again, like agave, but like it's been cooked, but it's kind of you left it out too long, and it's rotting a little bit. Um, get a glass of water here. But then there's yeah, hang on. That Christmas spice thing is still there. Cinnamon clove in particular. Um, Smoked tea like lapsang souchong. Um, and even a hint of like molasses in there, although this is far from like blackstrap molasses, like the classic stuff. Although this is not rummy at all. This is rough. Ooh, um, whew. So this is oh, I didn't mention this story. So this they've hopped distillery a couple of times. This particular batch was distilled at the Casa de Piedra distillery, which is not actually in Jalisco. It's a little further southeast towards the city. Interesting distillery. It's kind of got some cool architecture, but they still do everything traditionally with stone ovens and pot stills and that kind of thing. Difficult is the word I would use for this, but kind of fun, and I do love the package. Okay, the big famous one, Fortaleza Blanco, still strength. Um, this is a brand where if you talk to tequila nerds, this is going to be in the top five somewhere. And this is their still strength version. It's only 92 proof though. It's only 46% alcohol, which is a very low distillation strength compared to some of these. Um, but why not trust them on that? Um, okay, uh, I do kind of hate this bottle though. I mean, it feels like I'm gonna break it if I knock it over, and this little cork thing feels like it's gonna break off. But I mean, terrific reputation, very very craft. Okay, I thought these had a lot of Christmas spices in them. This is just, this is Christmas in Jalisco. Yeah, cinnamon, nutmeg, clove, a little cardamom in there. I mean, you have the agave and the kind of, earthiness, maybe some lime peel. Um, Not that much going on actually, but it it feels tight. Um, it's a little reticent to give me much more. Um, but nice. On the palate. Okay. Yeah, Chris. Actually, cinnamon toast crunch. This is an easy one. The cereal with the little chef guys and cinnamon. Yeah. Very bready with the cinnamon Christmas spicy thing. Um, Give me some agave in there along with the kind of liminess. Um, that's what this is. One more time. Considering its reputation, this is actually pretty simple. This is kind of straightforward. It's clean, it's smooth. It's just not doing, you know, as much in terms of the breadth of flavors as something like the Tapatio is. Um, but it's lovely. This was, however, the most expensive bottle here. This was 60, 60, 45. I think this was 70 or so in the Chicago market. And this was also around 60. Um, so if this does, I'm hoping this will wake up with some water, but um, you know, in terms of value, it might be in a little bit of trouble. Okay. Um, I've forgotten to add water to these. I'm doing that right now. And a little bit for the Fortaleza. Okay. Um, Moving on to the Casa Noble, which is this huge brand made in La Cofradia, which is the big facility. Um, Very modern, but still using brick ovens, still using pot stills, still doing things the old-fashioned way. But this is triple distilled, and uh, it is slightly aged. So it's a Joven, which is a little bit of an ambiguous category. When you're talking about like good tequila, the stuff that is in mixtos and stuff, Joven generally indicates some of it has touched wood. It just can't qualify as a reposado. So some of it is aged for a while, but it's mixed with a blanco. Or in this case, I think it's actually been aged in oak, in French oak, but it's only been in there for about 8 weeks, maybe 2 months, um, which is not long enough to count as a reposado. But it is bottled at higher strength at 51%, I think. And this is single barrel. This is barrel 1082, if you're curious. And on the nose, yeah, Tootsie Roll. It's the obvious note to this. So chocolate, but that sort of slightly fake candy chocolate. Not that that's bad. I'm actually rather enjoying it. Earthy, earthy Tootsie Roll. Some agave, obviously. Um, a little spicy, little black pepper, a little dustiness. Um, like mud, some lime, but it's more like stewed lime, if that makes sense. Um, that whatever the hell that cactus pork belly thing is called. Um, like and some like American style mole, like the black mole with lots of chocolate in it. Um, on the palate, ooh, quite minty actually. Um, Actually, no, it's so Tootsie Roll, but it's been like the Breyers mint chocolate chip ice cream. This is that's what this is. But replace all the chocolate chips with little bits of Tootsie Roll. Oh, um, yummy. I mean, just deliciousness. But real. There's also some more herbal notes in there, some bell pepper, kind of an oatmeal note actually, but like it's been stewed and left to sit in the fridge for a while. Cinnamon sugar. Um, yeah, let me try one more time. But just like yummy. I mean, this is kind of doing what the Don Fulano did, but in a sort of different direction, if that makes sense. This is yeah, this is good. Um, I mean, all of these are good in their own weird, unique ways. And so one thing I would say is tequila has a little bit of a paradoxical nature because on the one hand, it's made from agave, right? Um, and you have to distill it twice, which implies pot stills, although you can use column stills, but implies pot stills. But on the other hand, even though it's sort of doomed to have this kind of character to it from just the legal requirements, it has this reputation for like smoothness and niceness, and that can sound bad to to my ears as a sort of experienced drinker. That sounds like it's just going to be crap. But I mean, you drink these and you understand. Oh, like no, these are like really complex actually, but at the same time pillowy, soft, and delicious. So okay, let's go through these one more time now that with water in them. So Tapatio first. See how these developed. Oh, gets more herbal. Um, I was expecting this to sweeten up actually, but it sort of the sweetness kind of goes away, if anything. It's more dusty, more floral, wildflowers, some mint coming through. Um, Even something metallic, like just like the T1000 is in my glass right now. And on the palate, oh, there's the sweetness. Oh God, that's gorgeous. That's delicious. Yeah. So we're getting more pepper, more sugar, like even like honey, like alfalfa honey, like the sort of spicy honey. It gets creamier too. The sort of creaminess comes out. Oh God, that. Mm, I'm drinking this. Really complex, but just pillowy soft at the same time. Um, Amazing. Uh, I'm gonna give. Well, let me try the others just to give it context, and then I'll start scoring these. Okay, Don Fulano. Um, see what this has done with a few minutes of water in the glass. It smells kind of the same. It smells like it just got watered down, to be honest. So yeah, it just smells like the same kind of lime, Christmas, spicy thing. I mean, it's beautiful, but it hasn't really developed at all. Um, on the palate, maybe a hair sweeter. There's kind of the mintiness comes out a little bit more. There's like an after dinner mint thing, those like little baggies where you pull it open where they leave them at the counter and you pop it in your mouth as you're leaving in the restaurant. Um, but it doesn't develop anywhere near as much as this one does. these were kind of, in the same league before I added water, but now they're sort of, now things are starting to separate a little bit. Let me try one more time. Still just delicious, silky smooth. Um, this is good stuff. But it's the only one here I would consider drinking, neat without water. Um, and I don't think water really adds that much. So let's move on. Chamucos, I had some difficulty with before. Okay, totally different. Um, this with water in it becomes for it kind of turns into like masala chai, but like barnyardy masala chai. If I can make like a lot of the same elements are there. They just move to the background, and like this sort of gorgeous, like you're like a some South Asian grandma was stewing this with cardamom seeds all day long, and now you get to enjoy it. Um, yeah, this is very different. More, it's a little more herbal too. Maybe some menthol in there. Let me try it. Ooh, smooths out a lot with water. Oh yeah, this. Hang on, I have to change my score. Yeah, that gets a lot better with water. Um, again, the chai thing comes through again. Like not chai latte. This is real. This is the real stuff. Um, there's a kind of like spearmint thing. Kind of still rough, still barnyardy, and like rotting agave. Maybe some mushrooms in there, but um, all these. So most of these are blancos. Obviously, this is the only one that strikes me as maybe benefiting from more time in a barrel. Not a live barrel. You know, don't throw it into something that's fresh oak. Like put this in. I would love to taste like a Diablo Reposado or Diablo um, Añejo. Put this with like put into like a third, fourth fill barrel for like just a couple of months, just to let it integrate, kind of round itself off, shed some of those off notes. Um, yeah, it's just gorgeous. It just needs to kind of pull itself together a little bit more. Well done, filmmaker and bottle designer. Um, okay, the big boy, Fortaleza. I'm hoping this guy opens up a lot with water because it was a little bit quiet. Um, Maybe it gets a little more bready on the nose, like a little bakery along with your Christmas spice. But other than that, it hasn't actually developed that much. Again, a little bit like the Fulano, it's just kind of the same thing, just with water in it. Um, on the palate, oh, lovely. Gets a little muddier, um, a little like fleshy and chewy. Um, I don't think it actually gets better with water though. It's considering this is the most expensive one here. I'm not actually that blown away by it. I mean, one more time. Yeah, cinnamon toast crunch. Covered in mud, but nice mud. Moving on, the Casa Noble. Ooh, more Tootsie Roll, um, more bell pepper actually, more whipped cream, actually very creamy, like almost turns into a little bit of a key lime pie with Tootsie Roll all over it. Um, that doesn't sound great, does it? Okay, on the palate. Ooh, yum. Um, very seductive. I am seduced. Minty, Tootsie Rolly, muddy, funky whipped cream is what this is. Um, delicious. You ever get a crush on someone in college, and you aren't sure if it's because you know uh, they're so darn smart and so darn good at what they do, or if it's because they look so good in a t-shirt. Um, this is kind of that. This is along with the Dunfaluna. Dunfaluna might be doing that even better, actually. Um, this is really attractive, but there's a lot going on at the same time. Uh, okay, I'm going to keep the score the same though. Okay, so we've gone through all these, and in terms of final scores, how do I rank these? Oh, okay. Wait, this is easy. All right. So highest, lowest. Actually, these two would be tied now. Um, but I'm going to talk about the Chamucos first. Um, I like this actually. This is I love the package design. I love the little devil guy. I love the bottle. The bottle's like very cool, but at the same time, it's practical. It's not like I'm not scared of it like with this guy. Um, and the stuff inside, it just needs to have a chance to kind of settle down and uh, pick yourself up. So 85 out of 100. Um, I think this actually might be the one bartenders, like mixologists, might have the most fun with, because there's a lot going on in here. It just needs something to balance it off a little bit. No shame. I think it's the cheapest bottle on the table, unless you sort of calculate, by millimeter or something like that. In which case, the Tapatio probably ties it. Anyways, 85. Well done. Okay, this one's gonna get me some hate if anyone's watched this far in the video. The Fortaleza, the still strength. It's good. I like it. It's distinctive. It has this. It leans way harder into the sort of um, Christmas spicy thing than the rest of these, and that's nice. I've enjoyed trying it. But as a value factor, like I mean, if you're the most expensive bottle and you're tying for DFL, like this is a problem. So you can comment below telling me how wrong I am about this. Um, but yeah, it's good. I just don't see it. I don't see it towering over the rest of these guys. Um, and I don't really even see it improving without, like this guy. You put this in dead oak for 8-10 months, it can skyrocket up to play with some of the big boys. But this kind of is what it is, and it's nice, but I was kind of expecting more. Casa Noble. This is a big brand, right? Um, I feel like, and first of all, let me commend Casa Noble for even putting this out. I get the feeling someone had to fight for this. And it was a fight well raged. This is good stuff. 86 plus. I'm going to say 86 plus out of 100. It's really good. This is just delicious stuff, and I hope they continue this program because clearly it works. Um, Actually, it reminds me of, like, if you sort of distilled this in extra time, you might. There's a kinship between these two. Um, Don Fulano. This might be fighting it out with the Tapatio if it developed with water, but because it kind of fades once you bring it down to strength. I'm gonna only give this 87 out of 100, but it is just. Let me try this again. It's so gorgeous and seductive on the palate. I mean, if you were trying to sell someone on tequila, this like just someone who never had spirits before or was only spirit had never had tequila before, this would be a good one to try. It's just yummy. And doing a slightly better job of it than the Casa Noble maybe. But it isn't winning this because the Tapatio is winning this. This is terrific. It's got like 90% of the silkiness of the Don Fulano, but it just has a breadth of flavors that God, that's good. 88 points out of 100, and it is the winner today. So you notice there's not much of a spread. These are all sort of in the mid 80s, which is bad for the Fortaleza, right? I think the big lesson to take away from this is if you see a higher proof tequila available in your area, buy it. Buy it. It's not going to suck. And I hope they start putting out more of these. Like some of the more famous distilleries aren't doing this. Like Siete Leguas. Where is your high proof tequila? And I would love to see folks like that put stuff like this out. As it is, this is just kind of victory for the category. If you're looking for a break from mezcal or from anything else, any one of these is really worth buying. Fortaleza is more expensive, but I mean it's still worth a shot. So all these get recommendations: 85, 85, 86 plus, 87, 88. Thank you for watching, and cheers.